busy day. I think we could all use some freebies for 313 Day. Good morning to you. Thanks for joining us on this Wednesday, March 13th. I'm Amy Andrews.
I'm Brandon Hudson. Things are moving quickly in the James Crumbley trial. Not long after the prosecution rested its case this morning, the defense made a brief presentation to explain why Crumbley is not responsible for his son's horrible actions.
The defense also called Crumbley's sister to the stand. Fox 2's Robin Murdoch joins us live from Pontiac. And Robin, what did the defense present this morning? This is moving quickly.
Yeah, this moved very, very quickly. The prosecution called one witness back to the stand this morning, and then the defense called one witness to the stand as well. As you guys both mentioned, both sides have now rested their cases. That happened right around 10 o'clock this morning. And then at 12:30, both sides will be back in the courtroom. They'll call the jury back into the courtroom, and that is when they will begin their closing arguments in the trial of the father of the Oxford High School shooter. Now, we do know that during the course of this trial, the prosecution called about 15 witnesses to the stand. The defense called one single witness. That single witness, the sister of James Crumbley, who came to Florida, or came in from Florida rather, to take part in today's proceedings. She spent about 15 minutes or so on the stand this morning, answering questions from both the defense as well as the prosecution during cross-examination. Now, most of the testimony revolved around her relationship with her brother that she described as close, even though phone records show they only spoke a few times. And she wanted to know if she saw anything out of the ordinary, anything that did not seem right. She discussed a couple of different visits she had with James and his son, her nephew. One was in April when their mother passed away. The other time was in June, and that was when she surprised James with a visit and actually stayed in the family home. Take a listen to some of her testimony from earlier today. Again, this is the sister of James Crumbley, the only witness to take the stand for the defense.
Did you observe anything concerning with your nephew between June of 21 and, we'll say, November 30th of 2020?
No.
If there had been anything concerning that you had observed, what would you have done?
I would have addressed it, and if I would have known anything, I would have talked to him, I would have took him home with me if there was any kind of inclination that anything was wrong.
Would you have made your brother aware of it?
Of course.
Did you ever make your brother aware of anything that you were concerned about?
No, because there was nothing I was concerned about.
Now, James Crumbley did speak really briefly in court today after the jury had left the room. He was asked about whether he would be testifying in his own defense, and he told the judge that it was his decision to remain silent. As you know, his wife did choose to take the stand in her trial last month. She was convicted on the very same 4 involuntary manslaughter charges, a charge for each of the students killed by their son. Again, the next step in this process will happen at 12:30 today. That is when closing arguments will happen. The jury will hear those closing arguments, and then they will start getting their instructions. Then they will be able to deliberate. Our very own Charlie Langton will be inside the courtroom for that aspect of today's proceedings and have a complete wrap-up for you tonight at 5 and 6. For now, we are live here in Pontiac. I'm Robin Murdoch for Fox 2 News.
And Robin, you've been covering most of this trial. Other than the defense resting so quickly, anything else notable that you can think of from the trial that may make a difference in the outcome of the case?
Well, as you know, yesterday, Amy, one of the final things that the jury saw yesterday was this video of the shooting inside the halls of Oxford High. They saw several of the students being shot. They saw some of the victims who were actually killed in this situation. So I think that's going to have a resonating impact with them. That's one of the last things that they will remember as they head into jury deliberations. So we'll have to see what type of impact that had, as well as we saw that the journal in which the shooter talked about approaching his parents and asking for mental help and not getting any. So there are a lot of significant moments in this trial. Of course, the next significant one happening at 12:30 today. And you can rely on Fox 2 News for the very latest developments, both on air as well as online. Back to you, Amy.
Robin, thank you so much. So difficult. And just a reminder, you can stay up to date on all breaking news anytime through our newsletter. Just scan the QR code below to get the news alerts all day, every day.
A major update this morning in the suspected road rage shooting in Sterling Heights. Macomb County's prosecutor says that a woman will not be charged for shooting another woman and her daughter. The incident happened late last month in the parking lot of a Carrabba's on Hall Road. Prosecutor's office says that the shooter acted in self-defense after being assaulted by the two women. We are told that they will not face any charges either.
We are also learning more about a barricaded gunman situation in Westland that left 2 people dead and another injured. Police identifying one of the victims as 74-year-old Susan Higginson. Her son William Henry was also shot but survived. And sources say his boyfriend is the one who pulled the trigger. He's been identified as William Jarvis. We're told he took his own life. Right now, police are not releasing any information about a potential motive in this case.
We have a number of people that we are talking to and looking at. I don't want to classify him as a person of interest yet. We're very concerned about some of the things that they may know about the case.
That was Detroit Police Chief James White with an update on the case of a missing 13-year-old girl. Still not much hope for a family that is agonizing over the disappearance of Neziah Harris. Crews were on foot, they were in the air, they were in the water as they searched near 7 Mile and Telegraph yesterday. So far, there is still no sign of the teen who has been missing for more than 2 months. Complicating the matter, many of her family members have gone silent.
I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. They won't even talk to me now. That side of the family, they won't talk. Something is up.
I can't give you any explanation because I don't know any of these people besides her father, but it's just kind of weird. I haven't had any contact with anyone.
So the other element to this case is the delay in the initial search efforts. Detroit police were not notified about Harris until several weeks after that she went missing.
Well, new details on a deadly crash that shut down part of I96 last night near West Grand Boulevard. Police say a motorcycle rear-ended a car driving east. Now that car lost control and hit the embankment. It was then hit by another car that also rolled over. The driver was taken to the hospital with minor injuries. The motorcycle rider, a 23-year-old Farmington Hills man, was pronounced dead at the scene. Investigators say they do believe he was speeding.
Well, it'll be several weeks before investigators can probe this site where those deadly explosions happened in Clinton Township. And environmental crews made progress yesterday, picking up debris at the blast site in the area of Grosbeck and 15 Mile. Last week, explosions launched thousands of heavy metal containers into the air. Some landed as far as 2 miles away. A 19-year-old man was killed and a firefighter was injured by one.
They were exactly missiles, very dangerous missiles. It could have been hundreds of people that were injured or killed. They brought rubble to our community. Somebody is responsible for this rubble. We're going to find out who it is, how they did it, and hold them accountable.
Here's the thing. The canisters are still considered dangerous. The public is asked to stay away from the site while the investigation takes shape.